You know why I pulled you over. Wonder if it's a mustard trailer violation or something. Working in our study guides on page 3, to count or not to count. This is a topic that was done very well on the inventory. Most everyone in the classes earned a 3, and we just want to be able to move everyone to a 4. And there's just one subtle thing to help you to be able to do this. And the topic associated with the to count or not to count is all about observations. Those key skills in science to make keen observations. We usually put them in two major categories. We have quantitative observations and qualitative observations. Again, from the really good results the majority of people had on the inventory, these are terms you've definitely heard before. In fact, you are probably encouraged, or I at least hope you're encouraged, to remember that quantitative, with that N in there, helps you remember N for numbers, N quantitative. Those observations that contain numbers we call quantitative, whereas your qualitative observations more about the qualities, the characteristics, things like color, descriptive things like texture. So to move us from our 3s to our 4s, the key emphasis really is the term count, and that's why I feature our Sesame Street character of the count. And Sesame Street managed to teach us to count all the way to 12, but nothing after that. But we did just fine. But the count loved to do his namesake count. And the key to distinguishing quantitative observations from qualitative isn't really just about numbers. It's about, were the numbers that was something that was counted. For example, if I were to say I drove down I-15 and I encountered only 4 bumps. I-15, you might instantly think, oh, there's a number, so it should be quantitative. Where actually I-15 is qualitative because this is serving as the name of the freeway. We didn't actually count the preceding 14 highways, freeways, byways to get to this 15th one. I-15 is really a name. The 4 bumps, that's something we counted. And if it's something you count, it's going to be quantitative. To help practice with this, we'll look at the 10 items more towards the bottom of page 3. Each of these underlined items you want to consider, is this N for quantitative or is this L for qualitative? Pause the video and fill out your 1 through 10. You can answer it in the study guide or on your own paper. You can write numbers 1 through 10 and write, is the underlined portion a quantitative observation or is it a qualitative observation? Pause the video. Hopefully you've unpaused because you did answer all 10 items. 1. Ospreys migrate from Canada to South America every year, flying over 9,600 kilometers. This is something that's actually measured and counted, so that would be quantitative. 2. Osprey nests can become large enough for a human to sit in. Large, it's a general description, qualitative. Would you sit in an osprey nest? 3. Osprey can only dive into water about 1 meter deep. The 1, that is something that can be counted, quantitative. The osprey and owls are the only raptors whose outer toe is reversible, allowing them to grasp their prey with 2 toes in front and 2 behind. Raptors, that would be qualitative. 5. Osprey have backwards facing scales on the talons which act as barbs to help hold its catch. Talons, qualitative. Of course, I've suggested since the beginning of Ridgeline's opening, our talent show should be called the Talent Show. They did do it one year, but they got so many people saying you can't spell talent because they didn't put the hyphen in. But anyhow. 6. The osprey is depicted as a white eagle in heraldry. Oh, royalty. White, more of a quality, characteristic, or feature, not something counted. So that will be a qualitative observation. 7. Fish make up 99% of an osprey's diet. 99%, quantitative. It's counted, measured. 8. While flying away with the freshly caught prey, an osprey will manipulate the fish so it is parallel to the bird's body and thus aerodynamic. Riverhawk's natural physicist. Parallel is qualitative. Penultimate item, penultimate meaning next to last. Penultimate item 9. The oldest known North American osprey lived to be 25 years old. The oldest portion is qualitative. Even though later in the statement it gives you quantitative, because this is the underlined portion, it is qualitative. If the 25 had been underlined, that would have been quantitative, but it's the oldest, so qualitative. 10. Ospreys are found on all continents except Antarctica. Qualitative. Despite the fact we know there are 7 continents, minus the 1 would be 6, we're honing in just on the word, and that word is qualitative. Hopefully we've moved you from your 3s to 4s. If not, let's do one more example. This isn't in your study guide, just something for us to look at and discuss here. In 2008, an osprey being tracked by researchers flew an amazing 4,300 kilometers in just 13 days, traveling from Massachusetts to French Guiana, South America, North America to South America, 13 days to cover that 4,300 kilometers. If Massachusetts was underlined, that would be a qualitative observation. 13 days, quantitative, something you counted. 4,300, quantitative, something that was counted, something that was measured. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometers. If researchers had been underlined, qualitative. If 2008 had been underlined, that would be quantitative or qualitative. Think about the key term to help you understand which it is. Count. If you actually counted, measured something for an observation, it's quantitative. 2008, it's a reference point. It's the name for that year, like I-15. You could count the 14 preceding highways to get to I-15, but we don't say, I was traveling along I-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15. So 2008, it is a number, but it's not a number we count. It's more of a reference point. So this 2008, if it were underlined on your CK, that would be considered a qualitative, a description, a qualitative observation. Have you do a final practice before you turn in the study guide or the notes that you have made in preparation for the CK. You want to come back to this page and answer A and B based on this beautiful picture of our mascot. You'll record 3 quantitative observations, remember things that are specifically counted, and then you'll record 3 qualitative characteristics, features about the picture above. Go Riverhawks!